You know, teachers and staff members, Dia, are also mandatory reporters for child abuse.
Over the last few months, child abuse hotlines say they've been receiving fewer calls, which isn't necessarily a good thing. Anchor Caitlin Canute has more on what could be a troubling side effect of the pandemic.
I remember this room exactly.
Earlier this week, we shared the story of Elena Nanneman, who says she was sexually abused by an elder in her church as a young child. Now 22, the Johnson County woman is sharing her story to encourage other victims to come forward and encourage adults to listen.
I don't know where I would be physically or mentally had I continued to keep it to myself.
When Nanneman told her family years ago, they brought her to Sunflower House, a children's advocacy center in Shawnee.
The first thing is you need to remain calm and you need to listen to that child and convey to them that you believe them.
But Sunflower House director and CEO Michelle Herman notes that for every one child who comes forward, there are 10 more who are being abused but stay silent. That's why watching out for signs of child abuse is so important, something that's been made more difficult during this pandemic. At the Sunflower House, they saw 101 children for forensic interviews between April and June. Compare that to 137 during the same 3 months last year, a 26% drop. That's similar to what local DCF officials say they're seeing with hotline calls. Overall, experts say calls to the child abuse hotlines have been down this year compared to years past, starting in March. At the peak of the shutdown in April, calls were down significantly. For example, DCF in the Kansas City region took 959 reports of child abuse. Compare that to more than 2,400 calls in 2019 and more than 1,800 the 2 years prior.
And this is probably because people who are recognized as mandated reporters, professionals throughout lots of areas in society, just are not seeing the children.
DCF reports 30% of their hotline calls come from teachers and school personnel. So there's hope that if children return to school, mandatory reporters will catch those early signs. But there's another theory explaining why numbers could be down, one that offers a possible silver lining to the pandemic with more parents staying home.
So the thought being that less reliance on other caregivers, and the primary caregiver, be that the mom or the dad in the home consistently, has conferred a protective effect on the child.
For now, that's just a theory, but one thing experts and advocates agree upon: if you see something that looks like child abuse, say something. Doing so could be life-saving. Caitlin Canute, 41 Action News.